Hello mate, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Tom?
Yeah, good. You had a good ride?
Not too bad, yeah. I'm feeling a bit out of shape, I'll be honest. Haven't been riding that much recently, but yeah, just getting back into it just in time for the winter,
Good.
which is not good at all, is it, really?
Not good. You'll be indoors on your static trailer, won't you?
I don't know. I think you encourage me to go out more. You are a good influence on me.
No such thing as bad weather, just inappropriate clothing. I've just been overtaken by several e-bikes and I've had this idea. Why don't we go and talk?
Were they e-bikes though?
Possibly not. I'm going to tell myself they were. I thought it might be good if we go and chat to some people and just find out where the world of cycling is going now that half the people seem to have motors.
A lot of people have
around
them,
their
don't
bottom
they?
brackets. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe, and thanks very much for your support.
To hear more about the impact of the increasing number of e-bikes out on the trails, we sent Kim to chat with Ian Warby of Firecrest MTB, who's been an advocate of e-bikes since they first appeared out on the trails.
It's such a game changer. It's still mountain biking, but it just means that you can get more out of the bike, and as a result of that, it gives you more time to practice and your skills are going to improve as a result. Obviously there's a few people out there worrying about the fitness benefits, but I think those are still there with an e-bike, but you're just able to practice so much and put that time in on the bike that you need to get a lot better.
You can focus on what you want to focus on, right? You don't have to waste all your energy necessarily getting to where you want to focus and practice. You can just do what you want to do.
That's it, that's for sure. And the great thing is when you get there, you're exactly that. You're able to session that section or ride that trail much more than you would normally. And
with
that
full
just,
energy, full battery.
That's it, yeah. And it just means that you're able to really build on your skills rather than worrying about getting fatigued. And so if you've got a particular piece of trail that you love riding, you'll probably ride that 2 or 3, maybe even 5 times more than you would if you were on a normal bike just going out for a ride.
Yep. I feel like it's brought a lot more people to the sport, more people into the woods, and kind of maybe going further afield than they otherwise would have done. And you know, one of the things we've touched on a bit is mental health as well. And I think e-bikes also are a great way to open the sport up to people who otherwise would think, oh, I'm not fit enough to ride all the way through the woods and ride up all the hills. But you know, it's a great way to get everybody to kind of come to the party.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's, you know, there was always going to be people out there that will kind of worry about the number of people coming into the sport on an e-bike, and I think that there is some etiquette work that needs to be done, because people will learn, you know, when you're on a kind of analog bike or non-e-bike, then you're out there a little bit more having to learn what's going on. In the e-bike, you're straight out. But it's great to see the people out there on them, and I think what it does is it just gives them that hop up. So originally I thought we'd see a lot more people coming through for skills courses, but what they found is they feel like a legend on an e-bike straight away. So the courses are coming later, and more people, as they ride and find that they could improve their skill, are booking in. But that first experience isn't, oh God, I hate the hills, or how am I going to do this? It's really able to get out there and have a great time on the bike, which is great. And as you say, the mental health benefits of that have to be good, because people are getting out, exercising, having fun, but then they're not so prohibited by feeling tired or not enjoying the ride, or perhaps not being able to keep up with someone.
Yeah, and actually, you know, just chatting a bit amongst ourselves as well, we've touched upon, you know, some of our darker moments, having crashes and stuff, and I think all of my big ones have been when I'm tired.
Yeah.
And so especially when you're learning, you know, if you're already shot to pieces just by your first push-up or your first ascend to the top of the hill, then chances are you're set for some pain as you try to maneuver your first time going downhill, you know, if you're shot to pieces. So I think it is, in that regard, it's a pretty cool thing too.
Definitely, and I think one of the key things is just remembering it takes a little while to build up the strength to be able to control the e-bike at the speeds it can go.
Yep.
But I think once you get there, once you get there, it's a really good tool to have, and it enables you to be able to, like you say, hit those trails and get out and do those bits.
So, you know, we've been chatting a bit about, you know, there's more people in the woods, more people going on the trails, especially because e-bikes have opened up that access to people who might otherwise not consider it. You know, a lot of that depends on access to those trails and landowners letting us ride on it, and forestry commissions letting trails be built on the land. So what do you think about are e-bikes going to change that game at all?
I think there's always a consideration that the e-bike will mean that there's more users and more use. But I think that once people get their heads around what the e-bike does, that we'll see more people out there, and the landowners will get used to having an e-bike come onto their land. And as long as people are responsible, then it'll be fine. I think the problem is you've always got that very small minority that upset it for everyone else.
Yeah.
And as long as that small minority isn't too big a proportion, I think we'll be okay. But I think what we need to do is to work with some of those land managers to be able to show them how e-bikes impact on the trails, and so that they can see that they might need to do some work in certain places.
Yep.
But also just kind of looking at how they manage the e-bike, how they meet those people, and again kind of looking at the legislation around it to make sure that people understand where they can and can't ride an e-bike that might not be conforming to the legal standards.
Yep.
And so if you've been lucky enough or gone out and chipped your e-bike or done something like that, just making sure that you're riding that responsibly and not upsetting everyone by being able to tear around with that extra power that you have.
Yeah.
I think that's where the responsibility comes, because it's very easy to know that you've got more power, but the laws are there to make sure that people are safe, and obviously off-road we've got to look at those as well.